Oliver and Jumpy by Werner Stacekow, Volume 14, Flying Carpet, Birthday Party, Magic Berries. Is this your first encounter with Oliver and Jumpy? Yes? Then let me tell you about them. Oliver is an elegant tomcat, and Jumpy is his best friend. They are always on the lookout for new adventures together. Oliver lives in a treehouse on the mighty oak tree. He is the most famous cat in the country. Flying Carpet by Werner Stacekow. Illustrator Mario Tereso. A stork, traveling every summer from Africa to Zealandia, delivered a letter to me from there. It seems I'm famous in Africa as well. The letter asked me to come quickly. I was supposed to save a beautiful princess. Well, I'm pretty good at rescuing princesses, so I left immediately. But not without Jumpy. This time we traveled by trampolinium. You have to keep jumping until you reach up very high into the sky and land on the other side of the earth. That place was right next to the pyramids and the Sphinx. The Sphinx resembles a cat. The letter said to go to the bazaar. Jumpy was pointing out a particularly beautiful silk carpet when a man approached us. "Are you Oliver? I have a special carpet for you to help you save the princess." This was my contact person. He gave me a beautiful small flying carpet. Just sit on the carpet and it will take you to the princess. We unrolled the carpet and sat on it. Wow! It immediately accelerated up into the air. We soon left the town behind us and sped along the Nile with its fields and palms. Quickly, a palace with a tall minaret came into view. The carpet landed on the balcony, where the beautiful princess was waiting. "You have finally come, quickly, before the guards arrive." She jumped up on the carpet. We took off. The carpet seemed to know where to go. But shortly we heard a lot of noise behind us. The palace guard was chasing us. We were outnumbered, and our carpet was too slow because of heavy Jumpy. Luckily, the carpet was very clever and rose between the clouds. Our followers got lost in there and ran into each other. Many fell into the water, and we were left alone. We could now fly to our destination, wherever that was. We flew all the way to the palace of the neighboring king, who was an enemy of the princess's father. That's why she was not allowed to marry the prince, but they were in love, so we had helped them to finally get together. Of course, Jumpy and I were invited to the wedding, and the king was so happy for his son that he gave us a chest of gold and jewels to take home. The big hall was full of guests, dancing girls, and lots of food. We will never forget that day. Carpet by. Join Oliver's birthday party. Birthday Party by Werner Steskau. Illustrator Vickers Apatay. I returned home and had a huge surprise. Happy birthday! My house was full of people. A surprise party. I was getting dizzy just by looking at all the glitter and cheerfulness. My long table was covered with the most elegant tablecloth. In the center, a nice cake dominated the table. Some candles were burning on its top. Can you tell me how many? Everybody was toasting me with the tasty honey wine. Then there was some commotion at the window, and 4 colorful parrots landed on the sill, screeching, "Happy birthday to you!" They were paid birthday singers. A few monkeys played the drums. Soon the cake was sliced up with a super giant piece for everybody. Then we were dancing that the treehouse started to shake. It was almost as if my oak tree were joining in with our revelry. Suddenly, we all heard the sound of trumpets outside. Looking out the window, I was amazed to see 3 elephants standing below my veranda. They picked up the children and put them on their backs for a ride. Then they went down to the mudslide. The elephants told the children to hold on tight before sliding down the hill and making a big splash into the sea. All children had to have a mud battle in the end. Balls of mud were thrown at each other, with some landing right in an open mouth. Yuck! You have to spit and spit and spit. What is a birthday without presents? In Zealandia we are very silly people. Jumpy gave me a pen that can only write on Wednesdays. Then a fairy arrived to wish me a fantastic birthday. She brought a very useful present for me, a pot of pixie dust. I took a pinch between my fingers and scattered some on my head. Immediately, my feet lifted off the ground. I hope your next birthday party will be just as exciting. Birthday bye. Joey was naughty eating berries in the wood. Magic Berries by Werner Steskau. Illustrator Macy Ann Reyes. Once again we visited Ghost Castle. We crossed into a peaceful country scene. Look at the beautiful big red berries on this bush. Joey cried excitedly and popped some into his mouth before we could caution him. Oh no! Jumpy despaired. Joey was shrinking. He was getting smaller until he was only a third his size. Right next to the bush with the red berries was a different looking one that had yellow berries. Joey tasted one to see if he would become normal again. What do you think happened? He did not grow larger, but stayed small and became fatter. We were all desperate. Joey then discovered a bush with blueberries. After eating just one blueberry, he started growing again to full size. But he stayed fat. We were walking miserably along when a hedgehog arrived. He asked Joey, "Did you try all 3 different berries?" "How did you know that?" I inquired. "Others have done the same." "How can he reverse the process?" "You must find the wood fairy to help you." We called desperately, "Wood fairy, please help Joey." A lovely voice rippled down on us. "Here we have another naughty boy." She explained that he had to walk alone to a big hazelnut tree on top of the mountain and eat one of its nuts. That would change him back, but he must not get diverted on the way before he had eaten the nut. Joey left on his quest. Halfway up the mountain, he encountered an ice cream stand with a red roof and on the front written in big letters, "Free ice cream, help yourself." Joey was very tempted, but remembered the warning not to stop for anything. He kept hiking up the steep hill and was suddenly confronted with the most delicious hot dog smell. There was a hot dog cart. "Help yourself," it said. He stretched out his hand to grab one of the buns. Suddenly, he remembered the wood fairy. "Don't let anything divert your attention. Stay strong." He sighed and continued his walk. Then he heard music playing. There was another colorful painted vendor's cart with many ice-cold soft drinks. Joey's tongue was hanging out and he could not hold himself back anymore. He hurried to the stand to fetch a bottle. A flurry of movement went around his head as many birds tried to stop him. "The tree is not far," they all seemed to say. He was upset and quickly hiked up to the hazelnut tree. He searched for nuts but could not see any. Then he spotted one hazelnut high up. Kangaroos cannot climb trees. "Crow, crow!" It was a big crow, and he was tearing off the only nut. It fell to the ground because it was too big for his beak. Quickly, Joey grabbed the nut and ate it. Immediately, Joey felt strange movements within his body. His joints were creaking and his skin was shrinking. He had no mirror, but from what he could see and feel, he seemed back to normal. "Bravo, you have made it," applauded the wood fairy. "You have passed the tests. Now you can go back and enjoy the free offerings on the way." Joey thanked the wood fairy and quickly ran to have a drink and hot dog. We were very happy to have our normal Joey back again. Do not eat any berries growing on bushes without asking Mom. Berry bye. Thank you very much for reading Oliver and Jumpy. You are now a special friend and you'll be able to take part in all their adventures.